The assistant director who handed Alec Baldwin that loaded gun on the movie set admitted to investigators that he didn't check the revolver carefully enough. That's just one of the new and troubling details we're learning from a search warrant released today. We're finding out what key crew members at the center of the deadly shooting told detectives. The assistant director and the armorer who were in charge of prop guns for the film. Investigators say when they asked the armorer about live ammo on the set, she responded, "No live ammo is ever kept on set." But today, the Santa Fe County Sheriff said it appears it was a real bullet, a live round in Baldwin's revolver that killed the film's cinematographer. It struck her in the chest, according to investigators, before hitting the director who was standing behind her. The bullet lodged in his shoulder.
We have the spent shell casing from the bullet that was fired from the gun. The actual lead projectile that was fired has been recovered from the shoulder of Mr. Souza. The facts are clear. A weapon was handed to Mr. Baldwin. The weapon is functional and fired a live round, killing Ms. Hutchins and injuring Mr. Souza. And
not only that, the sheriff says detectives found even more suspected live rounds on that set. The district attorney says she will prosecute if there's evidence of a crime, but she says right now it's too early to determine whether anyone will face charges. Here's CNBC correspondent Valerie Castro.
In the first press briefing since the deadly shooting on set, the Santa Fe County Sheriff shared his thoughts on the incident.
I think there was some complacency on this set,
while the district attorney called it a very complex case. New court documents revealed an interview with Assistant Director David Halls and armorer Halyna Gutierrez, who told investigators that on that day she checked the dummies, referring to the ammunition, and ensured they were not hot rounds. She described locking up the firearms in a safe during a break, but during lunch she stated the ammo was left on a cart on the set, not secured. Longtime Hollywood armorer Clay Van Sickle says that goes against best practices.
No weapons are left unattended, and ammo should not be left unattended, certainly not over a long break like lunch, where no crew member is there.
Another potential issue when Gutierrez described handing the gun to Alec Baldwin a couple times and also handed it to David Halls.
The question I have is why an AD was handling a weapon. That should never happen. There's no reason for an AD to have hands on a weapon.
But Van Sickle says the AD is supposed to be a safety check, examining a weapon held by the armorer before it's handed off to the actor.
The procedure would be to open the cylinder and then spin it so that you could see all 6 cylinders were either empty or had dummy rounds in them.
But Halls told investigators when Hannah showed him the firearm before continuing rehearsal, he could only remember seeing 3 rounds. He advised he should have checked all of them, but didn't and couldn't recall if she spun the drum.
He should have checked all of them, and he's right. He should have every single time. There was some negligence definitely on this set.
Investigators say Alec Baldwin is cooperating and has been interviewed by detectives. They also spoke to a cameraman on set who said Baldwin was careful around the firearms, and earlier that day during the filming of a different scene, he made sure a child wasn't anywhere near him when they were firing a weapon. Shep?
But you know, Val, there are these reports that people on the set were firing rounds as sort of target practice while all of this was before it started.
And Shep, the Santa Fe County Sheriff, acknowledged those reports. He says that is something that they are investigating, whether or not someone was shooting live rounds as part of target practice that morning before the accident.